We have come to the banker's customers relationship. First, we'll touch on who is the customer. Next, we'll touch on the types of banker's customer relationship. Who is a customer? A customer of a bank is someone who either has a current or deposit account, or some similar relationship, or some has a similar relationship with the bank, opens an account, or tell the bank to carry out his instructions. When does a customer's relationship start? Customer relationship is established when he or she has an account relationship with the bank, enter a contract for the bank to execute his instructions. Let's look at a case. Woods versus Martin Bank Limited. The banker's customer relationship exists from the date the bank accepted the instructions. No relationship is established. We look at another case. Great Western Railway versus London and County Bank. No account and is not about to open an account. Bankers render some casual service will not make him a customer. The relationship between a banker and his customer is basically the contractual relationship of a debtor and creditor, which is regulated by the general rules of contract, the rules of agency and bailment where applicable. Common banking practice. There are 5 common types of relationship. These are the 5 common types. We will cover them in detail in the following slides. The first one, debtor-creditor relationship. The customer deposits money with a bank. The relationship which arises is one of creditor and debtor. So is the deposit an asset or liability on the bank's balance sheet? In here, the bank is liable to repay back the deposit money on demand, which means the bank is a debtor. So here the bank is the debtor and the customer is a creditor. In contrast to other ordinary debtors, it is the creditor's duty to demand bank to repay their deposits. Bank is free to use the deposit money. The bank is entitled to use the deposit money. So the bank as a debtor, customer is a creditor. The bank is legally liable if he acts negligently with the deposit. Here we look at the simple diagram. Let's say the public, there are many savers deposit about in total 100 million in a bank. This total 100 million deposits the bank can choose to invest or utilize it, can invest or use it for whatever purpose it deems so. So you can put 10,000 as overdraft facilities for its own customers, 20,000 for mortgage loan, 30,000 for commercial loans, 30,000 for trade finance, and 10,000 for hire purchase. Basically, the banks use the 100,000 to lend out to generate return. Under the principal and agent relationship, the principal is usually the customer who empowers the bank. An agent is usually the bank who acts on behalf of the customer. The third party refers to the external party who transacts with the principal through the agent. For example, bank agent collects proceeds of a check for its customer, principal. Let's look at three parties here. Customer is the William, the principal. Bank TGE is the agent, and John is the third party. John pays a 10K check to William. In this case, William do not collect the money 10K exactly from John. What the bank would is the bank who is the William's agent will collect the $10,000 proceeds of the check for its principal, basically William. Next, let's look at bailor and bailee relationship. This relationship arises when the customer, bailor, deposits valuables with the bank's bailee for a specific purpose. For example, for safekeeping until they are demanded by the bailor or to be dealt with according to his instructions. Here, the customer retains the ownership of the valuables. The bank's bailee safekeep the valuables and bound to take reasonable care of the items. For example, safe deposit box is a good example. Safe deposit box is basically you can put your valuables like jewelry into these boxes. At the bank, will safekeep these valuable items for a certain fee. Next, we look at mortgagee relationship. This relationship arises when the customer's mortgage his assets to the bank as securities for advances granted. So, assets pledged to the banks for the advance of the loan or credit. Is this a common form of asset pledge as securities? In Singapore, yes, it is a very common form. Next, we look at trustee beneficiaries relationship. Trustee, the person to whom property is committed and trusted. So you trust this person to help you manage it, your property. However, the benefit is for other people, basically the beneficiary. The control administration assets in the interest of beneficiaries. The duty of care. So the trustee has to act as if it is his own property. The trustee beneficiary relationship usually is evidenced by the means of a trust deed. So there's a document, legal document, okay, to specify, to show the evidence between the relationship between the trustee and the beneficiary. The beneficiary basically is the party who received the goodness of that trust. Under this relationship, the trust deeds binds the two parties. The two parties are trustees and beneficiary. Trustees controls and administers assets in the interest of the beneficiary. Beneficiary is the one who received the goodness of that trust. So for example, the official trustee, assignee basically trustee in a bankruptcy, take charge of the assets of a bankrupt, sell and pay off the debts,